you when you lose a loved one? And not to talk about when you lose more than one loved one at a time. How do you get past the pain? To get to the point where you are able to use your pain to help other people. Welcome back. My name is Adeola Fayon, and we're back with our inspiration segment. And to inspire us today to answer these questions that I just asked, are two people in the studio, people that have been through this tough time, that have lost loved ones, and now they are using their pain to help other people. Please welcome to the studio of SaharaTV a father and a daughter, Mr. Timi Morak, as well as his daughter, Folashade Morak. Welcome to SaharaTV.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having us.
It's great to have you guys. And I just want us to start from the beginning so that our viewers know where we're coming from. Do you guys mind telling me what happened in 1998?
It was a Thursday night. My wife at that time was heading back home from a job, and unfortunately some accident driver that I guess was out of control ran a red light and hit them. They were heading northbound on Bedford Avenue towards Coney Island, and she ran a red light. It was a female, and hit them. And that night we lost 3 kids, Damilola, Olusegun, and Akitunde, ages 7, 5, and 2. And my daughter here, thank God, she survived. She was in a coma for 24 hours, she and her mother. And when I was notified by the police and by, of course, Mr. Al Sharpton, what had happened, I realized how my world just came crashing down.
And you know, I'm still gonna ask you how, like the first reaction, like the first thing that went through your mind when, at first, were you like in denial at first, like, no, this is not happening?
It's very difficult. At that time, I was just in a shock, because when I was driven to Kings County Hospital by friends and family, I couldn't scream or cry. I was just in a shock. And of course, because I have sickle cell, I was taken straight to the emergency room because I was having crisis right away. I couldn't contain myself, and you know, that was just the reaction. I was just numb, state of shock. And it's too many things were going on in my head at that time. Was like, okay, how do I negotiate? What did I do? You know, how could this happen? I was just barely in my early 30s when it happened, but it did. But I had to stay strong for her. She was just barely 9 years old. And while I was in the emergency room, I just told the nurses to take over the IVs on me and, listen, I gotta go see my daughter. I said, no, you're not feeling well? I said, no, I gotta go see my daughter. So they took everything out, put on my clothes, and I walked across the hall to where she was. And the thoughts in my head was like, okay, how do I tell her? But at that time she was already, you know, out of the coma. And I was just looking at her like this, like, wow, how do I tell her? Where do I start? So that's what my immediate reaction, like, how do you pick up the pieces? Not just one, not 2, 3. You know, one of them was actually born on my birthday. We had the same birthdays, so. But we've been very strong. God has been awesome. And actually that was the reason why we live in Brooklyn. We didn't know anybody in Jersey, and I just thought, hey, it's just me and you now, let's go. And one day the following summer, that's when we moved to Brooklyn.
And I see Folashade tearing up already.
Yeah, I know. It still hurts.
I can
It's a touchy
even,
subject for me. So.
yeah, I can even imagine, like, you were actually in the car.
Yeah.
Did you see the ambulance coming?
We were actually all asleep when it happened. It was like late at night. If I'm not mistaken, the accident happened around like 11-something p.m. Because I remember reading the reports, and they were saying that my sister, Dami, she's the one who died on the spot from brain damage. and it said that she died, I think, like, probably minutes before midnight, and then Sickle had died a few minutes after midnight. So I didn't know what had happened until, like, pretty much days after it happened.
Wow.
I found out days after because I was in a coma, like he had said. And me, I'm just thinking in my head, like, when I woke up, it's actually his voice that woke me up. You know, he was like, Ronke, like, wake up, you know? And I woke up.
My voice was the first one she heard, and I just stroked her head and I just called her name, Ibironke. I call her Ibironke. And for the first time in over 24 hours, she opened her eyes.
Wow.
And of course, my friends and family at that time I attended a church in Brooklyn, you know, the spiritual church, and everybody was like, praise the Lord. And I was like, okay, what's going on? Let's go see the others. I didn't even know what was going on at that time. It's because they took me to our ward first and then our mother's. And
I see. And Ibironke, what do you remember of your siblings? How would you describe Segun, Damilola?
Well, Dami, she was the fighter. I was always the soft one, you know, very calm, cool.
Was she older, younger?
No, I'm the oldest.
You're the youngest.
I'm the oldest. Dami was just the fighter. She was pretty much like the warrior. And Sickle, he was just the cool one, you know, the cool one, always like sports and food. And then Aki, he was very young. You know, he was only 2, but he was very headstrong, though. You know that saying that they had back home, like, you can tell when somebody hasn't lived in this world before. That's how Aki was. So it's just crazy because I remember when I found out that they had passed away, I was upset and I was angry and I was like, I wish it was God who took me and not them. At least I was older, you know? I'm like, at least I was able to see 9 years, you know, going on 10, but I'm like, they're just babies, you know? So I was like, 1 life is better than 3. So that was my theory.
Okay, so first of all, nobody can imagine the pain, the level of pain that you both have been through. Tell me how you were able to navigate through that time and, you know, when finally you were coming out of it, because I know for sure that for a long time you both were really down, and I wanted to ask you first how you were able to get through that time. You started already saying that you were really upset.
I was upset. Honestly, it's like a blur when I think about it. It's really through the grace of God that I was able to really make it through and not become, as they would say, a statistic, you know, in this community that we live in, not only being Nigerian, but being born and raised in America. You know, the lifestyle here is totally different from back home. And I'm surprised, you know, I didn't become a statistic. Of course, growing up, you know, as a child, you're gonna make mistakes. But it was pretty much my parents, family, the good friends, you know, that steered me in the right direction, you know. To this day, I'm surprised I've accomplished just the amount of things I have, you know, up to this day. But it was certainly not an easy road. It wasn't easy. Some of the things I've had to endure or experience, I don't think I would wish it on my worst enemy. Because just the pain and the heartache and, you know, when you start making steps moving forward, something happens and it brings you back. It's, after a while, it becomes tiresome, you know.
And you have accomplished a lot.
Yeah. So,
no, it's okay. You can tell us a little bit.
Well, I'm still, you know, on the road of accomplishing more things. Not only did I graduate.
You're doing your master's now, right?
Yeah, had 2 bachelors.
2 different bachelors?
Yeah.
Excuse me?
2 different bachelors.
What?
Psychology and sociology.
I see.
And then my master's is in public health.
Wonderful.
And it's weird because it's because of him I chose public health.
He wanted you to do public health?
No, not leave it to him. He probably preferred me to do nursing or be a doctor. But no, I was like, you know what? He has sickle cell. I really don't understand fully of, you know, the whole science behind sickle cell.
Yeah.
I was like, you know, I think public health might be the right route for me. Not only to help, you know, the youth and, you know, as far as like educating them on how to take care of themselves, but just to understand, you know.
Yeah, and be there for him.
Exactly.
And you have been. And I'm sure he's very proud of you. But you
I
know,
hope so.
before, oh yes, he is. He told me so much about you already. And you know, before we go into sickle cell and the fact that you now have, you're using this tragedy to help people, I wanted to know how you were able to navigate through that time and how you were able to finally you found the strength to go on and, you know, to leave Brooklyn and then start a new life.
Well, it wasn't easy, to tell the truth. And I can just say, first it was God, because even though at that time I was very, very angry, like, why me? I mean, how old was I? 3 kids. I mean, how can this happen to one, you know, family, you know? And secondly, it was family, because I'm from a very closely knit family, and ever since that year, 98, my family, they've made it a duty. It's like a pilgrimage to them now. They come to America every summer.
Oh,
every summer, just because
sure
to be with me. Yeah. And because, you know, I'm the first child of my parents, and what they teach me like a baby, like, oh, because I had sickle cell. You know, so every summer they come in. They live in Nigeria on the 16th now, so they come in, but they can't make the event, our upcoming event. But it was those 2 things, and because I just had to be strong for her. Because during the funeral arrangements, during all those times, everybody was crying, and people were telling me, oh, you're doing good, you have to be strong, you can't cry. So I was, you know, containing my emotions in that.
For her.
And of course, when I had my own quiet moments, oh yeah, I let it out. But I didn't want people to see me crying like that. But
It's okay, I saw you.
so.
All right, and you know, I'm glad that you made mention of the fact that your family had been there, and you know. But I also wanted to ask you that now you're actually, and before I talk about this, the foundation, you are actually a testimony. Your story by itself is a testimony without the incidents that happened. The fact that you have sickle cell and you're over 50 now, that in itself, I mean, tell me just a little bit. Did the doctor say anything about, like, when you were born?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I tell this story to everybody, and of course, I was diagnosed at the age of 2.
I see.
And of course, you know, in the 60s in Nigeria, sickle cell wasn't well understood like now. Actually, even now, they've not really accomplished so much.
So did they ever say, oh, you probably won't?
Oh yeah, they told my parents I wasn't going to live past the age of 5.
5?
Yes.
And you made it to 50.
And I remember my 5th birthday, because my parents thought that was going to be my last birthday.
So they went all out.
So they went all. I still remember the card they bought me at that time, what it looked like, and I said, wow. So why are they making my 5th birthday so special? Of course. And then
They probably didn't tell you anything.
They didn't tell me at that time. It was later. That's why I said, oh, really? So you guys thought I was kicking the bucket, right?
Well, we're glad that you made it. But
God
not
for
only
that.
have you made it, now you're using the fact that you've made it as a sickle cell survivor and the incidents that happened, you're using that to help people.
That's right.
Tell us a bit about your foundation.
Okay. The inspiration came in 2005.
Okay.
I'm a patient of Dr. Rosenbluth of Hackensack Hospital. And one day he just told me, you know, Timi, you know, you can be an advocate for sickle cell. I said, advocate for sickle cell. And of course, at that time, we had, I think George Bush was the president. You know, they don't talk much about black disease like that. So I said, man, I don't know about that, man. But, you know, hey, I'll see what I can do.
Did you say it's a black disease? It happens only
Pretty
to
much
black people?
black people. But now, when I did my research, I found out that a lot of Hispanics have it. People.
So white people don't have sickle cell?
No, there are some white people who have it, but
They have to be mixed.
From my understanding, they pretty much have the black gene in them. You know, like from mixed racing and stuff like that.
I see.
But when you look up the research, it does say that sickle cell is pretty much predominantly, you know, from black.
African Americans or Middle Eastern.
From that 2005, you
So I
decided
thought
you would
about
have
it.
a foundation.
I thought about it, but I didn't. it was a big project. I said, how am I going to do this? I don't even have the money to even start
So how
this.
are you doing it now?
So what that happened, I just woke up one day, and I used to joke about this. I told her, I said, listen, I just woke up one day, and I was just thinking about the roads of, travel, and I'm like, wow, I was supposed to leave this world at the age of 5.
And you made it
survived
to 50.
the death of 3 kids.
I'm running out of time. That's why I'm trying to get you
yeah,
to...
and I just decided, listen, I'm going to do this. And I finally made it happen through some friends. One of them is here with us today. Her name is Miss Perth, Dora Perth. And they say, listen, you can do this. So we sat together and...
So is it based here or in Nigeria?
It's actually based, it was founded here.
Founded here.
But the whole idea is to set it up in Nigeria because...
And help people with sickle cell.
Yeah, because when I did the research again, I found out that about 100,000 people die every year from sickle cell disease. And I was like, wow.
In Nigeria?
In Nigeria.
100,000 people?
100,000.
Okay.
On 100,000.
And we actually have a photo of a woman that your foundation is helping right now.
Yes.
In Nigeria. You said this woman, the husband found out that she has sickle cell and then kicked her out?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I told my crew back there that, listen, we need to start helping people because, you see, a lot of my family, they believe in what I'm doing and they want to help, but they say, okay, try and do something that show that we're doing something, and at least so that people know what we're doing. So it's okay, go around, go from hospital to hospital. So when they gave me the profile of this lady, I'm like, wow, okay, I like this. Don't go any further, because it's an awesome story. Like,
we like it too.
Yeah, 25. She's 25. Her husband left her, and she had a baby. She has a baby boy, and you know how it is. General Hospital is not the best.
And I wanted to ask Falashade about the upcoming fundraising, so that people can participate if they want to be part of this vision that you have going on. And I hope that they will please put up the website of the foundation. That's the MorakFoundation.com. And by the way, the name Morak is in honor of the 3 children that
the Morak
lost.
children, exactly. So people mistake it that, okay, it's a children's hospital. No,
it's not.
They are the Morak children.
I see.
And it's for
That's
them.
Shegun, Damilola, and
Akintunde.
Akintunde. So tell us about the fundraising event coming up next month.
Well, from my understanding, it's pretty much a fashion show, fundraising event.
All kinds of African cultural events, right?
Yeah, different. From my understanding, different cuisines. I guess it's supposed to be Nigerian dishes or
no, actually,
or different African dishes.
It's gonna be we're keeping it simple because it's more about the sickle cell awareness. But of course, it's gonna be like a dinner fundraiser.
Great.
We found a caterer is willing to pick up a lot of the tabs and then a sideshow, fashion show, and pretty much just to make it more.
And the ticket is how much?
It's a $50 ticket.
Okay, so if you're watching us and you'd like to be part of this, you don't have to live in New Jersey. You can buy your own ticket online from MorakFoundation.com to be part of this vision. And just before I let you guys go, I have just one more last question. First of all, I'm so happy that you came to the studio today.
Thank you for having us.
But someone may be watching us and maybe they've lost a loved one, or they've just been through a lot, or maybe they came to this country and it's not what they expected. Can you just look at the camera and talk to somebody today? I'll have you talk and I'll have her talk as well.
I just want to let people out there know that sometimes they say, God don't give us more than we can handle. Well, I'm glad that I can say that because I've had a lot to handle in the last 50 years, and I don't let that get me down. So my advice to people out there, the Nigerians are loving people. Pretty much we're very giving. We love to, we share other people's pain. And no matter what you may be going through, if you can turn that negative thing happening in your life into positive, I think that's the reward. Because right now, what I'm doing now is fulfilling to me. It's not about getting the recognition or anything like that. It's just like I just want to help somebody. Pretty much the money we're using right now is pretty much some of my paycheck that I'm just sending home to take care of this individual that we're sponsoring right now. So whatever situation you may find yourself, whatever way you can help other people make their lives better or let them fulfill a positive life, go for it. I mean, don't expect any reward, just go for it and see what happens, how God will reward you.
And you?
Well, my advice would be to, of course, lean on God, pray, and try to find a support system. Support is the best thing you can have in this world. Even though we were born alone, while on this earth, we have to have people, you know, to carry us when we're feeling short, when we're falling down. Because there's gonna be those days when you fall down and you don't have anybody to pick you up. But you have to make sure that even if people are not around to pick you up, you can at least call on God. You can at least, you know within yourself, okay, yes, you know, this is the storm for now, but I know there's gonna be sunshine later. Never give up.
Wow.
Never give up.
That's deep.
Yeah.
And I know that I never got the opportunity to meet your siblings, but I just wanted to say that if they're looking down today, I'm sure they will be very proud of both of you.
Thank you.
I'm sure they will be happy that you decided to take their story and to use it for something positive. So thank you for all that you're doing.
Thank
so
you.
much. Thank you, and thank you again for having us. And hopefully, if you can make the event, that'll be awesome too.
And once again, we'll put the website on the link. The fundraising is on the 14th.
Actually, it's on
The
the
13th.
The
Yes,
13th of June in New Jersey. If you are in New York, New Jersey area, please try to make it. And if you're not, you can still buy a ticket online as a donation. It's $50 for a ticket. And we're hoping to see a lot of people, hopefully.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much,
Thank you
guys, for
very
what
Thank
you're
you.
doing.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, sure. We wish you, more success.
Thank you.
Thank you
Wish
so
you
much.
nothing but success. More.
Oh no, I've been watching that show every week.
Thank you. But I'm glad to see that you're smiling at least, because I was about to start tearing up as well.
Yeah, she does that to me all the time. So like, okay, why is she tearing up now? Oh,
She's
no.
daddy's daughter, so
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
I am.
Anyway, viewers, that has been our inspiration segment today. I hope that you've been inspired. Make sure you check out their website, morakfoundation.org, and find out more about this wonderful work that they are doing. Once again, thank you for coming, and we'll be right back. We have much more to come.
Thank you.